Hi, welcome back. We are ready to continue making our fitted face mask. So you just finished sewing this side together. Then you clipped this corner. You clipped the second corner and you clipped the center seam allowance. Remember, a seam allowance is where there's two pieces of fabric sewn together. So this is a seam allowance. The next thing we need to do is we are going to get our iron and we're going to iron our face mask. So just lay it down on your ironing board and give it a little iron this way to make it go flat. Turn it over, another iron. Let's even open it up. And this will be a little bit hard, but we're going to put our iron in here and we're going to iron right beside the seam allowance in here. So put the end of your iron near the seam allowance. Just follow the seam around. Turn it around. Now do this side. Follow it all the way around. Lie it flat again. And you should be able to see a nice curve from your iron. Take your time. Do a really nice job because it'll look better at the end. So once you have it ironed, it's looking good, right? It looks like this. It's now time to close this side. What we're going to do is at the center seam allowance, we're going to put them together. I'm going to fold this fabric here, fold this fabric here. Put a pin where you see stitching and bring it up again. So you have one pin in the center. Let's put one more pin the side. One in the middle. Here, I'll use a yellow one so you can see it better. Okay. So we have one in the center, one at this side, and one in the middle. Now we're going to do one more thing. I want you to put your hand on here. Take your chalk and make a little mark like that beside your finger. Okay? And that's where I want you to put your other pin in. So I have 4 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the next thing we are going to do is we're going to sew it partially closed. Partially closed means almost, not all closed. It means we're going to sew from the chalk mark, the yellow, this way. Okay? We're not going to sew here. We're going to leave it open. Why? Because we need to turn it inside out when we're finished. Okay, so go ahead and sew. I will meet you back here. I'm going to go to my sewing machine now. Hi, I'm back at my sewing machine. And I have a piece of fabric that I'm going to test to make sure my machine is sewing good. First of all, though, I make sure my 2 threads are nice and long. I'm going to hold these threads in my hand and let's see how the machine sews. Turn up my needle, pull it out, cut it on the cutter. That is looking good, and the back is also looking good. So I'm ready to sew my mask. So I'm going to pull it here. I have my mask here. I'm going to start sewing where my pin is here, where my chalk line is. I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to match my fabric here to the edge of the tape. I'm going to put my needle in and turn it by hand. We're going to go 1, here, I better stop. I'm going to take that needle out. Sometimes we can forget to take that needle out. Even I can forget. So we're going to do 1 or 2 stitches. Now the next thing I want is I want to make it go backwards. So I'm going to show you on the machine. I want you to push this down and hold it, okay? Now watch my machine. It'll go backwards, and let's go backwards 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, oh, was that 4? Now I'm going to take my finger off to go forwards. Do you see this here? It means reverse. If you push it down, the machine does reverse. I go back and forth to make like a knot, so my thread won't come out. So let's finish sewing. We're going to sew it. Remember, keep it over here beside the tape. Now this is going to be thick. Take your fingers, pinch it, hold everything together. Come slowly. I've got my pin out. And I'm going to finish it up. When I come to the end, I'm once again going to reverse. Back it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take my finger off. Go forward. When you reverse, go slow because you only have one hand here and the other hand is on the machine. Okay, let's cut our threads off. And I'm finished. I have it threaded, or I have it sewn all the way across the top, even in here. We'll go back to the ironing board now.